As a financial advisor, a lot of times I see friends and family, and once in a while have them ask me about money. And a lot of them are really asking me, not really so much for financial advice as far as taxes or, investments. They're mostly asking me because they know what I do has to do with money. And they're kind of stuck in a rut and they're not really sure what they should do to kind of get out of the situation they're in financially. And one thing that I want to offer up as some advice, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are in that same situation, and this isn't so much financial advice as it is a perspective, a way to look at things, and a way to maybe change some of the things that you may be doing now that could help you a long ways in the area of getting in a better position, being more financially, you'll be in a better financial situation if you could master this concept and then start thinking about things you do every day in this perspective. So it's very simple, and it is produce versus consume. That sounds really easy, and I'm going to bring up some really easy things to think about when it comes to produce or consume. But consuming is a good thing, so I don't want to totally take that and throw it under the bus. But let's take a look at this idea. If you're in that type of situation, let's look at something like this YouTube video. Right now I'm posting on YouTube, and sometimes I watch YouTube. Now, when I watch YouTube and I watch 5, 10, 15 videos, what am I doing? I'm consuming. Okay, I can get a lot of useful information. Hopefully this video is really useful for you from watching YouTube. But the action steps are what's important. So the action step is posting on YouTube. Okay, so posting is a producing, watching is a consuming. Now, when you do things such as go to dinner, you're consuming a service. When you're at home and you're making a dinner or you're cultivating a dinner using some other things that you have in your fridge, you're producing. So whenever you're producing, even when you're at work, how often, if you, let's say you have a job, are you having to be managed and constantly taught new tasks at work? Or are you kind of self-managing? Because if we think about this concept, even with your job, if you're constantly having to be taught by your manager or someone above you or a teammate of yours, and you're constantly having to be managed, well, guess what? You're consuming that person's resources. If you're one of those people who are managing other people and you're offering a service, maybe you're not managing other people, but you're just offering a service and you're constantly thinking about it and self-managing yourself, then you're producing. So you want to move towards producing and try to consume less. And this is the same even with a really positive thing. And I like using positive things because it really puts this into perspective. So a really positive thing is reading. Reading is a great subject because it's so powerful. Everyone tells us to read. And reading is something that can really further you as far as work. It can further you as far as knowledge. It can help you if you're reading self-help books on communication. It can help you with your family, everything. So you can read a workout book and it helps you, get better at working out. But let's think about this. Reading is great, but if we read 30 books and they have different knowledge, different information in them, and we don't take any action steps based off of those, and where does that leave us? Really all we did was consume. We consumed a bunch of knowledge and never did anything with it. So, the opposite of reading would be, let's just make it real simple, writing. How often do you sit down and write? I'm not talking about writing a book. I'm just saying sit down and write out your goals. That counts as writing. Sitting down and writing out a budget for the week. Writing down goals that you've got or ideas that you got from a book. Whenever you're writing, you're actually producing. So the reason I bring this up is because a lot of times I'm asked for financial advice when actually what that person needs is not financial advice. What they need is produce advice. If you start producing a service for somebody, if you start every time you read, you write down what you learned from that book. If you start producing consistently, say, okay, I just spent 30 minutes or an hour, and I spent that time consuming YouTube videos. Now that I'm done, I'm going to produce something using that information. I'm going to produce an idea. I'm going to produce some paragraph or a budget, or I'm going to produce some goal for myself based off of what I heard. Then that's the type of thing that you have to do. If you get in the habit of producing versus consuming, you're going to get ahead. And that means financially more than anything, because we live in a society where if you produce, you get rewarded. Maybe not instantly, but you do get rewarded. So, hope that advice helped. If you guys liked it, go ahead and hit subscribe and the like button. Take care.